Well, so why are we worried about gas stoves? Because we don't have time to worry about anything real or anything serious because we're too worried about covering this thing up.
Wow, we would have never believed this. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on Google. Go out there and listen to us. So we're excited about it. We're glad you're excited about it too.
Hey guys, welcome to Relevant Rants. I'm Mike Harvey here with Tom Touchstone. And real quick, want to let you guys know, Mike Harvey just started a new podcast. So
and I like it.
It is.
I liked
it's
it.
out there,
like it.
faith, family, business. Like we want to encourage other business owners and bring in the family elements. So if you're into that, you're watching this, go check it out. It's going to be on Spotify, Apple, all those places, or you can go to sign up on dailyfreedom.org, and we'll let you know when it actually drops. So
okay, I got a beef right now.
Okay.
How come my TikToks and my morning pump isn't on all that stuff?
Because you don't give it to us.
Okay, well, I got a problem there because it's accessible for you guys. You guys have a tech company.
It takes more than that to just release it, Tom.
Tom stuff's not.
All right, Alex, just figure it out. Make it happen.
Tom stuff's not important.
It is important.
You can catch me on TikTok, Tom Touchstone, and if you're a Facebook friend, you could see it that way.
We'll get it out there, Tom.
I
Promise.
like it. Hey, we got a new show starting on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Muscles Matter.
They do.
Hey, it's dropping in at 12 on 511 Media Group. Go out and subscribe. I think you'll
on
like
Tuesdays.
it. Yeah. This
Steve Southers, Tom Touchstone.
The first,
I'm in some of them. I'm not the muscle guy. These guys are, but
you are, Michael. We have Kurt Collins, Dr. Kurt Collins.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be the first one, right?
Yeah, we're talking about stem cells and a lot of health tips. So
Kurt Collins. Who else did we bring on that show? We got a whole number of people.
Bart Tipton. We've got Brandon Jones. Who was David Carr's workout partner. Yeah. We've got Mike
Jeff
Green.
Thompson?
Yeah, we got
John Thompson.
John Thompson. We got Mike Green. He's our veteran friend who got hit by an IED, and he has just one arm, and he does great at judo.
Yeah, so go check it out. It's going to be part of our channel.
We got a pastor who is a ex-professional boxer. Yes,
we do have one that was an ex-professional bodybuilder.
Yeah, we do. well, we got Doug Brignole too.
Oh, we do. We do. Like one of the last interviews he ever did, which people are liking, and they're clamoring for that next one.
If you go out there and watch Doug's lunch break, it's really cool.
I think it was in fact the last one he ever did.
It was. I talked to some of the people on his team.
So we got this Killing County with Colin
Wow.
Kaepernick. It's like a tongue twister.
Can I use our cuss word Tom?
Right? Jeez.
I'm gonna say Tom.
But I don't know a lot about this. You guys were just telling me about it this morning, but it sounds a little bit.
I have jumped on this bandwagon. Can I call it a bandwagon?
I think you can.
And what it is we've all started to see the billboards that have popped up in our hometown where this podcast is coming from.
Yep.
In Bakersfield. So the headline is Colin Kaepernick. And I'm like, what in the heck is this knucklehead? Can I call him a knucklehead?
I think that's being a little too nice.
Is doing a documentary about Bakersfield. It's just because he's kind of an
I don't
activist.
think it's a documentary about Bakersfield. I think from what I understand, it's propaganda, basically.
Yeah. There again, I haven't watched anything that he did but some football games, and he was a terrible quarterback.
He was not very good, no.
Oh, my God.
It was like, I'm not good at football, but I'm going to use it as my platform to gain popularity for other things, and now I'm going to push the agenda, the propaganda, BLM, and all this stuff, and now Killing County. And what is this about, Tom?
Well, the Killing County is about Bakersfield. If you look at the picture and you see our town right there, and you see Edison and McFarland, what it's saying is Bakersfield has a high murder rate. And as you have a high murder rate, I've talked to a lot of people in town.
Kind of like Chicago?
Not like Chicago, but
they didn't do one on Chicago, huh? Go figure.
But he's going to come out and use some data, and he's going to blame some friend of ours that is from Bakersfield, and I'll stick up for him. Donnie Youngblood being one.
Oh, great sheriff!
Yeah, great, fantastic sheriff. Love that man.
It's like one of the last great sheriffs in the state of California.
Kevin McCarthy, who is a personal friend of mine. And the great Speaker of the House.
He's doing a fantastic job.
We're going to be talking about that in a minute.
Later on in this episode.
But what they're doing is, and I've talked to some people on both sides of the aisle in Bakersfield. I won't use their name yet. But they've said that the narrative is pushed from the top down, which would mean the Biden administration down.
Oh, that far up.
They said
Not even just Gavin.
They say that's
all the
high.
way to the top.
And of course, they're using local players, and I'm a little disappointed in a couple of them.
And of course, Colin's a very willing pawn in that whole scheme of
Well,
things.
he's not from Bakersfield. I'm not sure. He may have drove through Bakersfield.
Maybe.
You know,
yeah, when he was playing football.
But if he took the 5 down, he probably wouldn't have.
That
never
doesn't go
pulled-
through Bakersfield.
That doesn't go through
It says Bakersfield. There was like, there's
doesn't go
nothing
through
there.
Bakersfield.
Yeah, because it's not actually there.
So that's just how much experience he has in Bakersfield to make that. And then, I mean, if you're going to make it, come to us. I've already talked to politicians in town, and we have a meeting, Pastor Ron and I, we have a meeting on Monday with some of them about using our church campus. We have a large church campus, 31 acres over in East Brundage.
Yeah.
There is no more disenfranchised area in Bakersfield than our congregants in our church. And we're just going to say it, God's put our church in the right area. So as we're there, we're going to talk about how reaching it out there is because it's our congregation. We make no jokes about it. We are in a very poor area of Bakersfield, and we have it. Our property sits on 4 gang claimed areas.
Yeah, like
And
intersection.
When they do a gang map of Bakersfield, you can look at our church.
It's like overlapping
But our church is not getting graffiti because we do so much
for the community.
That they appreciate the work that we're doing. So we're going to do more work. We're going to go out there because what they're saying is, Mike, is that Memphis, which was a terrible, terrible thing that happened last week, was the video of the 5 cops beating to death a poor black.
Well, and they're trying to make that a racist thing now too.
I know,
but it's like, how could that possibly be a racial thing?
Oh my gosh, it's so
Part of the narrative.
So what they're saying is that there's the highest group of disenfranchised 17-year-old to 25 years old are in Memphis. Well, let's guess where the next city in America is that has a high number of disenfranchised young people, 17, 25, Bakersfield. So let's do something about that. So that's what we plan on doing, and we're talking to the city and county representatives about doing so. But we've already been doing something about that.
Yeah.
I've worked with the county sheriff's department on getting together, and we've done things in the community that have been part of our neighborhood outreach, where we reach into the neighborhood. We do so many projects out there, and they do. Our congregation has firemen, has law enforcement, has gang members. We know that. John L. Ward. We'll just say John L. Ward.
No longer a gang member.
No longer a gang member, but he's CEO of Kicks for Kids.
Yeah.
Mike, you and I go with him a lot of times, and people are like, what the... because he used to be a bad dude, caused a lot of trouble.
Big supporters of John L. Yeah.
But I'm just saying now it's all changed. So when you get a docu-series about this from a ex-football player who
knows nothing about the area.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, Colin, if you watch this or you're a representative, Colin, we'll put you on our podcast. That's just a call out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on in.
But the whole thing that you're talking about, the
Is this
state
misrepresentation?
is making it worse too.
Yeah.
Right? Because Bakersfield is trying to do something about it, but from the top, the state is just creating this problem.
Well, we all know if you live in Kern County that we're one of the largest energy resources for America.
Yeah, not just America, the
When
world.
I was in the agricultural industry for 16 years, working for one of the largest agricultural companies in California, we were feeding 1/7 of the world.
Yeah.
So you take Kern County and you come in like this. Hey, you go to LA County. What the heck?
They don't grow anything there.
But they have crime.
Yeah.
But we're the killing.
I mean, they have like a whole city that's nothing but what is it? Skid Row. nothing but homeless.
Go to
tents.
San Francisco.
The entire
That's where our governor's at. But there again, I mean, you could come out and poke holes at us, but I just think it's unfair. I think you've cherry picked, the people that they want to talk to, the people they want to interview, and look where it's going to get us. So I'm watching tonight.
Again, propaganda.
Hey,
It's propaganda.
Colin Kaepernick, you have me watching.
All right, so big kind of deal this morning. It's like all over the headlines, all over the news, and when I woke up this morning, and Michael woke me up at 2:00 in the morning. I've been up, and why am I not tired? I don't know, but I should be.
You will
Anyway,
be. You will be.
I will be at some point, probably like 9:00 tonight. But this like China like weather balloon.
A balloon.
Thing that's floating there is, yeah, but
it must be a big balloon.
It is. But you know,
So I don't think they were trying to make it stealth.
I don't know what the deal is,
I don't
and
know
really,
either.
I don't think that the truth is out there yet. This is too new of a thing.
If they went balloons, they're going old school.
Yeah, but what's interesting, if you read like some of the articles, some of the quotes from China, like there was some subtle like underscoring subtext that was kind of threatening, like, hey, like you need to chill out about this because it's not a big deal. But like the thing is, one, the balloon's above like even the aircrafts, right? So even the Pentagon said, and I do believe this, I think it's true, because like how much can you view from like that far up in the air, right? There is not anything that they're going to be able to figure out from that they can't already figure out in a much easier way.
From a satellite.
Yeah.
Or
Or
maybe,
just feet on the ground, right? They
maybe,
already own a lot of property in the U.S.
Maybe our satellite imagery of all the GPS locations helps them out a little bit. Helps me out a lot of times.
I mean, that said, it is kind of concerning that a foreign
It can get this far.
that
our
a foreign
airspace.
government that's not necessarily the friendliest. We do have some contention there, especially over this Taiwan thing. In fact, like I think it was the Secretary of State was going to make a trip over there. He's canceled his trip for the time being until we figure out what's going on with this. But we don't have the best relationships. Why is your stuff over here?
So is it still up there? Or they get it down.
No, they're still monitoring it. Huh. But I mean, basically, the way I read it, right? My interpretation of this,
hovering over the United States.
Yeah, my interpretation of what I read, the quotes from China, was like, you better not do anything about this.
Hey, since we got a bad rap for Colin Kaepernick, I bet they flew over and hovered over Oildale. They may shoot that rascal down, right?
Well,
you have to live in Bakersfield to appreciate Oildale.
The fumes from the meth factory might just kind of cause it to crash anyway.
Well, we got in trouble one time when we let off some balloons at Mylar under in an area that we were in that went up to the flight path, and
yeah,
we got in trouble for it. So I know that balloons can be a distraction to people that are in aviation.
So as I do on Friday mornings, I'm scrolling Twitter and all the news feeds and everything else. And one of the things that popped up is, there's a lot of stuff. Kevin obviously just became Speaker of the House.
There is our guy.
Doing a great job.
Good job,
He's doing
Kevin.
a fantastic job, like making a lot of really positive, big moves.
Making headlines too.
Yeah. So he came out.
May not be making many friends, but he's making headlines.
He came out with the video that was on Twitter this morning on his official page, which was basically just calling out Democrats, saying, hey, they're socialists. And we took a vote on this, and they wouldn't denounce it.
A couple interesting things happen on the floor right now. You had almost, if you combine the number of Democrats who voted no and voted present, there's 100 Democrats that won't stand up against socialism. That's a real concern to me in America today. It's not just, that wasn't a college vote on a college campus. That was a vote in the U.S. Congress that 100 Democrats couldn't say socialism was wrong. That's a scary point of view, but you also understand why we're in a spending problem that they are when they were in the majority. That's why you understand the challenges that we have here.
Yeah.
Right. So, and is that a big surprise to anybody?
No, there again, there are some social service issues that I think have merit, but if you're talking socialism, like they practice it, heck no.
But they're again, he's doing big things. They kicked Ilhan Omar off of the
was a security board, wasn't it?
It was a foreign relations, something foreign policy, foreign relations. Alex, pop that up on the screen. You can get the exact name of that. But AOC was throwing a big fit about it. Did you see the video where she was throwing a fit?
I did, but she was sticking up for a friend, and then so did Tlaib. But you know what it is? It's her anti-Semitic mark.
Oh, it's a big deal. Like she's been very openly anti-Semitic for a very long time. So no surprises there. But again,
it's just at the beauty of our country because her district can vote her in. She can have those comments, but you just can't sit on certain committees if that's what you believe.
Oh yeah. I think people are not paying attention enough. because I don't. Do you think there's really that many people in her district that are anti-Semitic? No, I highly doubt that. No. So they're not. What it is there's a whole bunch of people, probably college kids and likewise, that are not really paying that much attention. That are like, oh yeah, she's blue, I'll vote for her, right?
Well, that's what Kevin did mention, is that this vote that they took about socialism wasn't at a college campus.
Yeah,
which people do have a bigger feeling about social services in college. You think everybody should be taken care of.
Well, this is House of Representatives, but is it a surprise that the Dems are for socialism? No, not at all. But that meanwhile, Kevin and the Republicans are doing big things, good things, positive things to impact America, and then we have the liberals that are worried about our late fees and worried about gas stoves.
That's always funny when you're worried about the top priority items, right? I mean, it's.
Well, that was one of the tweets I saw this morning from I don't know if it was Biden or the White House. It was one of them, and he was saying, oh yeah, everyone's worried about their late fees when they pay their credit card late. It's some of them are charging $31, and we're gonna make sure that it's only $8. I was like, why don't you just worry about the inflation and everything else? Because like $8 today is the same probably as $31 a few years ago because of what you've done to this country.
I know. I will say this. I paid under $4 yesterday for gas. $3.95.
Did you notice it's going back up though?
Oh, is it?
Oh, Tom, it's going to go. How can it not, right?
Well,
because
the only reason I guess that's because I was celebrating getting gas yesterday.
The only reason gas went down is because Biden drained the national reserves, right?
Yes, and now
but guess what? He's got to fill them back up, and the gas is still high priced,
yes,
right? So he's going to have to pay 2 or 3 times what we paid to get that in there in the first place to get it back. So what's going to happen to gas? I'm speculating, but could it double, triple? Mm-hmm. And is that part of what they want? They wanted to bring down the gas prices for the election, and now the election's over. So hey, whatever, free will. Now we got another election coming up in a couple years, year and
24.
9 months. So we'll see what happens. But I think we stand a good chance to move in a positive direction for our country there.
Yeah, well, I was celebrating yesterday at $3.95 a gallon.
Yeah, so it was $3.85.
Well, you found someplace cheaper than me.
Right next to my house.
That's better. But it would be a long drive for me next year.
Yeah. You live on the other side of town.
No, I like it. So yeah, I think there's bigger matters they could settle, like why the documents were at his house.
Well, that you bring up a good point, right? Because they're trying to distract. And what's crazy, and I was listening to, if you guys don't listen to Dan Bongino, go listen to his podcast from yesterday. He had a great podcast, and he was running through everything, kind of laying it out for people that aren't aware of how Hunter and Biden and Obama's in there, Clinton's in there, tied in with Ukraine and Soros and everything else.
They just need the emails and those documents to match.
The laptop is what's going to get them all. Now, are they going to go to jail? No. That should they? Yes, but people in power. Unfortunately, don't have the same penalties that we all do.
Of course, they're going to do Mike Pence. We hear that, but what I understand from what I've read, and is that they knew this was coming.
Oh, they had to have known it was coming, Tom. How could they not?
It's funny because and honestly, I've always told people in athletics, if you're going to beat a drug test, just know the date you're being tested.
Yeah,
that's just it.
Well, so why are we worried about gas stoves? Because we don't have time to worry about anything real or anything serious because we're too worried about covering this thing up.
I know. It's the old sleight of hand thing. When you're watching this hand's doing something.
Oh, always.
It is.
President Trump, ex-president now, but I believe they still refer to him as President Trump. DeSantis has basically said, or not even basically, like in no uncertain terms, if you're doing gender-affirming therapy in Florida, you're going to lose your medical license. Did you know Trump came out, and now this is kind of his new platform, and Michael Knowles, I was listening to him this morning, he did a story about it just yesterday, was talking about this subject, so go listen to Michael Knowles.
Our friend Michael Knowles.
Yep. Trump said, hey, if I'm reelected president, I'm going to require, one, that when doctors perform a birth, that they select male or female on the birth certificate, and you are not allowed to change it. And anybody that's doing gender therapy, like for any age, it's not just children, like we're getting rid of it.
You know, I'm still going to go back and say that when the paleontologists or archaeologists dig up bones from this era, years from now, maybe 1,000 years from now, they're going to find two sexes, male and female. We're not finding the gender, affirmation skeleton.
Well,
even if you make changes to the current chassis, it won't last.
The thing of it is, Tom, and I might take some heat for that, and it's okay. I don't care.
He doesn't care.
It's a mental illness. So before we were like, why do we have all of these homeless problems? Why do we have all of these transgender issues and everything else going on? It's because of the mental illness problem that they're not addressing. And instead, like, we all have to bow down to the people that have mental illness instead of helping them. We're just like basically mutilating them.
One of the biggest stories or podcasts I listened to referring to that was Ben Shapiro's. Ben does a really good job.
Yeah,
talking about how mental illness has really affected everything that is being proposed out there.
Well, Tom, they used to have hospitals and different stuff to help the people with mental illness, and they've gotten rid of them, and now we have the problems that we have in society at large with, again, the homeless. The homeless problem is compounded significantly because of that.
Well, it's interesting that because we're involved with a lot of the homelessness here in Bakersfield, and actually our church has a center 1,000 feet from where we're at.
Yeah,
and we're quite
massive center.
Yes, and we're in communication, but they're trying to propose to give more money and to handle it. And as I've talked to people that have knowledge about it, it's like it's not full. And then I've got people that I can see every day when I go to work that are sleeping outside of a new building that's going up across the street.
Yeah,
1,000 feet from the homeless center. So if it's getting people off the street, not working. They're doing a great job rehoming people that come to them, but if it's one of those things, and I got to give them credit because I do like what they propose. It's just the difference between proposing it and doing it. It's a whole different thing.
So you want to touch on the last bit of good news?
I love the good news. I love it. I love Patrick Mahomes when he said, first off, I got to thank God he healed my body this week. This is one of the things I tell. If somebody's got a testimony out there, Mike, I know yours, you know mine. You can't refute that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a personal thing. Patrick Mahomes is saying, my body was hurt. And if you watched the game, he was limping around. Mm-hmm. And this ankle was obviously giving him a problem. But he says, God healed me this week. Yeah. I think what a neat thing for him to come out and say, hey, it wasn't my therapist. It wasn't that, even though I'm sure they helped. But he said, gave credit for God.
Yeah, and I love I'm glad to see that.
I love the source is Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire. One of friends of ours at Daily Wire. There again, I give it a lot of credit there because my daughter's a talent manager at Daily Wire. Tessa Jimenez used to be Tessa Touchstone.
Yeah. So
creative consultant for our shows.
She is.
Yep, she is. Proudly, we say that. and I love the fact that Tom Brady's saying, hanging the cleats up.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. I mean, I remember when I hung up my posing trunks.
But, it's interesting. Did it cost him his marriage to delay it a year?
I don't know. My competitive years cost me my marriage.
Yeah.
I had a marriage of 11 years, and the things that I drug her through weren't pleasant. I mean, athletics is a very narcissistic experience. You can say anything else, but all you can think about yourself.
Yeah.
When I was on stage, there was nobody with me.
Well, and
I knew that.
A lot of adrenaline, a lot of testosterone.
And I'm not sure about football and what Tom does. I mean, he is the GOAT.
Yeah.
I mean, he has proved that.
Undisputed.
Yes, he is the GOAT.
But she can't. Giselle, his ex-wife, came out, and I thought it was pretty cool the way she addressed it. She's like, you know what? I just want the best for you.
I know. There again, I'm pro-marriage.
Oh, yeah. But there's a lot of divorced people that, like, they wouldn't say that. They're like, no, I want you to die.
I know. I get that. I've got some.
But they have kids together, and they have plans to raise them, and
work together on it. I just know what my decision-making process was after 10 years of being highly competitive in bodybuilding when it took to hang up the trunk.
Would you say it's almost addictive, Tom?
What is all addictive,
yeah.
and it's all a high.
Yeah.
There's endorphins, notoriety.
Yeah.
I remember when I remember to the day when I gave my first autograph and my last.
Well, I have to imagine, and you can speak to this. Obviously, I can't, but there had to have been like I imagine part of the reason that he decided to delay it a year is he was having an identity crisis, right?
Well, Mike, it's a tough one. I had a guy named Frank Zane, 3-time Mr. Olympia, much better bodybuilder than me. One time tell me, Tom, that when you realize you can't continue to do this, your life will change. I remember the day, I've shared it on Muscle Matters and Lunch Break. I remember the day when I grabbed a pair of 190-pound dumbbells in Gold's Gym Venice, and I realized I've got to do this. And I knew in my mind and my heart I couldn't do this, couldn't keep on doing it at that level with what I was putting my body through. And, this man here has competed at the highest level of sport that you and I love.
The highest of the highest.
Highest, and doing it at an age which I'm not sure it'll be repeated again. I mean, he's
older than me, Tom.
He's found a way, but I think also he looks out there, and could he play some more? Probably so. But I think he said, I'm done. He's got a great career coming up with, probably analyzing football.
I'm
maybe
sure he's going to be on ESPN or something.
He'll probably coach his boys in football. What an exciting thing. You get to coach Michael and, you're in when coming up. So I love it. And I hope the best for him. And I hope the best for his ex-wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. God bless.